I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and welcome to the back nine of the opening round here at the Disc Golf Hall of Fame Classic National Tour event. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, and we are catching up as we move over to hole number 10, Des Redding on the tee here for the 305-foot first hole of the back nine, and she's going right up the middle. This has a slight turnover to it. Should set up very well for a forehand dominant player like Jessica Weese. Jessica catches the trees on the left side. Ashley Collins also on the card, keeping it low, going with the forehand that stands up a little too much.
Shoot, that's a little far.
She says, shoot, that's a little far. Could have used a little bit more finish to that. Paige with a backhand that would have loved a little more turn as well. That's finishing hard left. Jessica's going to be just looking to get up and down here. There's a little bit of a drop off behind the basket. Jessica catches a late tree which kicks her to the right. Des, whose putter has been hot, connecting on very long birdie putts on both holes 7 and 9. Paige Pierce, who goes with a lunging jump putt more often when she's long range like this. What a putt by Pierce, pushing at least 65 feet. Collins not able to convert on the birdie. Jessica's going to walk away with a par. Des using some form of rosin bag, making sure her hands and disc are nice and dry. The humidity is just about disgusting. I believe it was around 92 or 98, 208% humidity. I'm not sure. It is very, very humid. Temperatures, thankfully, only in the 80s, but there is little to no wind and somewhat cloudy. We're moving on to hole 11. Hole 11 coming in at 535 feet. There is a route. You could go off to the left. You see somewhat of a gap on the left side of your screen. However, I would venture to guess about 95% of competitors take this right side route, at least to this pin position.
Now.
Low and straight. Looks like she could have used a little bit of hyzer from that.
Get through.
Ashley begging for it to get through. It looks like it's gonna. Des will have a standstill approach and a good-looking move on that, and then she gets jacked by the tree that kicks her to the right. Having to pitch out from that right side of the fairway, or should I say non-fairway over there.
Hey, that's the line I wanted.
Wow, very impressive. She tells us that's the line she wanted. I don't normally try to play it off the trees, but Jessica Weese, a professional. And Paige trying to make hole number 11 look very easy. Solid run with good speed by Ashley. And Des, who's made 2 at least from that distance, doesn't convert. Jessica catching the side of the cage and then getting a roll away. She could have done without that. However, a solid comeback putt after having to straddle out. Ashley just over the nubs. Des will move in for her cleanup, and Paige couldn't make it any easier on herself. This is going to be a tap in for the birdie. We're going to move on to hole number 12. Paige opening the back nine with back-to-back birdies on 10 and 11. She felt like she held on to that one a little too long as it was fading toward the right side.
Yeah, I love you, short film.
That's also low and left. The water really shouldn't come into play. You'd have to throw a pretty epically horrible drive to find the water all the way on the left side. Ashley's is fading left, but again, no real threat to the water. And a forehand there by Jessica. Wasn't until about this hole or the next hole did I feel any wind at any point through the entire day. The women have teed off earlier here during the Friday round on both Friday and Sunday. Their rounds are earlier. Saturday they get the later round. This is also the final stop for the 2017 PDGA National Tour. Paige Pierce hoping to close things out for the National Tour Series. And Das's just fades out in front of the basket. Paige is going to be settling for the par. Jessica with the turnover Anheuser putt. And Ashley is in. We're moving on to another peninsula hole. .345 feet. And what a great looking line. Asking for it to go in. Instead it hits a very late tree. And this plays slightly downhill. Again, reachable, I would say, for all of our female competitors here on the card. And Des with another low release. I'd like to thank the entire staff and crew out here at the International Disc Golf Center.
Come on. What's up, baby? Come on.
As that is heading to the left side. Our new executive director, Joe Chargaloff, out here taking control of everything for the first time after Brian Graham, who's another Hall of Fame inductee here in the class of 2017. Joe taking over the controls, and what do you got to do, Jessica? That looked all but in. And Paige from one knee looks like she's carried further than her previous putt. She's got this for the comeback and rings it up. So not exactly how she drew up the hole. She'll walk away with the par. Jessica a little bit disappointed. Madison Walker has found herself. She's doing the Stu Mullenberg impression. I see what she's doing there. Very clever, Madison. I know you had a camera in your hands earlier in the day. As we know, Madison sidelined due to her wrist injury. She's not playing anymore in 2017. We wish her the best. Des taps in. We'll move on. And for only the second time in this round, all four women card the exact same score, taking all pars on hole 13 here on Friday the 13th. I'm not sure what kind of craziness is going on. Jessica's going with the much more open forehand It looks like it almost just tries to roll up the pin. Oh, and a late tree keeps it from parking here on hole number 14. And what a great shot by Ashley Collins, right up the middle. Paige still trying to make it work. This is one of the shorter holes out on the course. What a putt by Des. She's got the putter hot today. That's at least her third putt outside the circle. Paige is going to walk away with the lone par here on hole 14. We're moving on.
Sorry, there's a spider on the keypad. I don't want to crush him.
Don't kill that one. That one's good too.
Go, go, go.
Go. Away.
Thank you.
And Jessica Weese, such a loving, caring soul, decides she doesn't want to step on the spider here on hole 15. This is a par 5 at 685 feet. You're trying to drive it as far as you can on the initial tee shot, which might give you a look at a long approach for an eagle. 2 clean shots to get started. And that is going to be a little bit of trouble there for Ashley. You really want to just throw it as far and as straight as possible with a little bit of a fade, just like you saw there by Pierce.
Great.
And that is a great shot by Ashley. Looks like Des did not make the longer, wider gap, so she's going to go up this little bit of a cheater, shorter route. And Jessica, who also didn't make it to the further opening, she's thrown a fighter there with the roller. That's the one problem here, is even if you throw a very far shot, you could hit a tree in front of you. And Pierce throwing her third shot. You saw the basket off in a distance. And hole 15 is just being ruthless here.
Come on.
And a clean shot there by Ashley Collins. Des with a forehand roller, which I've got to admit is a shot I don't see too often by her. Showing just how difficult this hole can play. And a very controlled shot here that finds a tree on the right. Des, your 3-time women's world champ, playing along with fellow Texas resident Paige Pierce, of course, your 4-time and reigning world champion. And surprising to see Jessica not draw any metal there. That's a putt that's definitely in her range. The opening round will be ultimately 3 rounds. The next 2 rounds will be played from the Jackson course, from the shorter tees. Paige will tap in and just 3 holes to play here during our opening round. And it seemed as if Des might have had a little misfire there, but then she gets a kick off the tree.
Oh, smash. Where are you going?
And unfortunately, it looks like That's going to be down and to the right. See, Ashley opt for the glove back on. I'm not sure exactly what prompts her for the glove off or on. This is an interesting play by Weese. She goes with the backhand turnover shot.
She down.
And Weese from way down there tries to get up and out and can't. What a great shot there. Jessica still trying to get up and out of trouble. Paige is going to have a long look at birdie. Draws medal from the top half. Des and Paige can both be a little... Oh, Jessica. There's a tree there.
Almost there.
She says she's almost there. And Jessica's ready to be done with hole number 16. She's going to go back, dry her hands off, go through a routine, which again, I certainly appreciate. It's far too easy to get flustered, to get frustrated, to just pick up your disc and throw it. Move on to your next shot without even going through your routine. And Jessica's maintained her composure here.
All the way.
I don't think you really wanted to go roll down the hill, Jessica. She's done with hole 16. Paige is going to drop to a knee. She likes to be squared up at normal height with the basket, so to speak. So anytime she's elevated on top of a basket, you'll see her drop to a knee. Said she's most comfortable. Talked about that in her National Tour putting clinic just a few days ago. We've got just 2 holes to play. Hole 17 coming in at 300 feet. And that's going straight up the middle. Something I did not realize is that you can actually find some OB here on hole number 17. And Paige rifling it up right up the middle. And Jessica finds some trouble off the tee. Looks like we've got a Michael from the Jomez crew running around out there.
Great kick. Yep.
And what a kick off that forehand shot by Weese. Great looking approach there by Des. And again, you can be aggressive. Putting uphill like that. Paige cards the birdie. She's going to pick up some serious strokes on the rest of the card here. The rest of the group will move in to tap out. In the meantime, I'd like to thank my buddy Chad. Did the filming and the majority of the editing here during this opening round. We've got just 1 to play. I at that rate, it looked like someone was going to get hurt. So I'm glad those final high fives went all right. 375 feet through a gap, up a hill, to a death putt green.
Oh, find a gap.
Paige asking to find a gap. And hitting early is not good here on hole number 18. You need to get all the way up and through that gap if you want to have a easy look at a 3. And Ashley has done just that, keeping it nice and low. Jessica again busting out a forehand of sorts.
Yeah, exercise it. Yep. Maybe a little more.
Jessica trying to get off of this course. She does not have to play it for either of the final 2 rounds. Again, they'll be at the Jackson course, which starts just a few hundred feet from where Paige just landed. Really just the opposite side once you walk out of the back of the International Disc Golf Center. This amazing property here at Wildwood Park hosts 3 championship caliber disc golf courses. The Warner, the Jackson, and the Steady Ed. Make sure you come find it if you ever get to the Augusta area. And Weese is going to finish one with authority. As our card is getting ready to pot out, I want to again thank Dynamic Disc for the support. We're going to be offering some giveaways, so make sure you like and post in the comments section. While we're at it, why don't you tell us what your favorite hole is? That will be the requirement. Give us a thumbs up and tell us what your favorite hole is after you've seen all 18 holes here. Put it in the YouTube comments and we'll find a giveaway and send out a disc or something bigger. Ah, Paige almost closes it out with the birdie. Instead, she'll have to just tap in. Ashley, however, has the easiest birdie of the day. That's beautiful. That's a tap-in 3. We're glad you could join us for the opening round here at the Steady Ed Hall of Fame Classic. Looking forward to seeing you guys for the next 2 rounds, again at the Jackson course. And there's your card. Ashley with the +2, Des with a -1, Paige Pierce shoots the 3 down, and Jessica Weese, after a great start, finishes at +2. We'll see you in round number 2.